welcome back to this channel. Today I wanted to continue talking more about summer programs. Summer programs, yay or nay? The reason why I wanted to bring this up was because my experience with summer programs has been sort of a mixed bag. I definitely have had some good experiences and some okay-ish experiences. In a nutshell, summer programs are basically instrument or orchestra training over the summer break or the school break. So from April or June until September. Now, some of these programs, like I said, can go from a week up to 3 months. So, a week is basically like just instrument training, and you have some master classes here and there throughout the day, and those are usually full day programs. As in, like, for the whole week, you have classes or master classes basically from 9 to 5 kind of thing. And then the 3 month programs, or yeah, about 3 months, those are usually the orchestra programs, and those are the ones that are very cutthroat. But it's also like fair because after all, there are not that many orchestras in this world to hire so many of us. But anyway, that's a tangent for another day or another video. Another thing to consider when you look into these summer programs, of course, is the cost. Now, the cost varies quite much. Of course, yes, not only from week towards 3 months programs, but also as to where they are, who's teaching, how the program is organized, what else is included in the program besides music lessons. So you have to be very honest with yourself and look into the cost and not just think that like, oh, I just want to apply for this program. Now, yes, there are scholarships, but to me, it kind of has always been weird about how the scholarships have been delivered or given. And also, there are very few for how many people apply and get accepted into the summer programs, which I also understand because it's like, yeah, the people have to make money out of it. And of course, there's not a lot of like sponsorships out there for summer programs. But yeah, it's like there are scholarships, but also they're very like either few get them, or there's very little money in between, which kind of only covers maybe like one day. But then you have to think, it's like, yeah, okay, but one day, but then how much does it cost for me to fly to this program or to travel to this program? Food sometimes is not included into these. Lodging sometimes is also not included in these. So I would say it's like once you decide on the program you want to do, then really like sit down and make a spreadsheet of everything you need to pay for. What I have noticed with summer programs is that actually many of the in my case, flute students just apply for the summer programs or go for the summer programs where they can continue studying with their teacher, in which case I think that's a very expensive private lesson or lessons, because then you have to remember you're not only paying for the lesson with your teacher, but you're also paying for the administration to run that summer program. For, in this case, maybe you have the meals covered, for the traveling basically. And also, it's like you have 9 months to study with your teacher. And if you really want to expand your music understanding and abilities, I think it's nice to try studying with others. Now, of course, you have to make sure that they fit you and your personality gels with them. And just explore though, because after a while, it's like your teacher can only offer you so much. And you can sometimes just be like, okay, well, I know what I want to sound like my teacher and whatever, but it's like you also need to get new ideas and make them your own rather than just imitating your teacher, if that makes sense. And the last big tip I have for these like summer programs is just research. I have noticed in the past few like years there have come so many summer programs on the market, and they're very different as to like what you get in the package, how many teaching days you have, how many actual hours you spend with a teacher, because you also have to be smart about this, because if there's a masterclass style program, then you don't really get one-on-one lessons all the time. Maybe they're just like one-on-one lesson in the whole week or two. So then also, yes, you have master classes, but in the master classes you have to realize you're only maybe playing 20 minutes, or you're only maybe getting like 20 minutes of instruction, so to say. So for also, just consider those things as like how much you pay versus how much time you get with the teacher. The one thing I want to also emphasize, besides all of these like cost considerations and researching stuff, I think you should really go into these summer programs before, like deciding what to apply for. You should really be honest with yourself and realize what you want to get out of the summer program. What do you want to achieve while you're at the summer program? Do you want to learn new repertoire? So then the school year is going to be spent on perfecting it or making it better, or learning even more new repertoire. Do you want to prepare for auditions during the summer programs? Do you want to just keep in shape, as I have heard many students say? Be very, very honest with yourself, because I think if you go into the summer program just for the sake of going to the summer program, you're not going to benefit as much from it. Going back to this point of like just wanting to keep in shape, I also don't think that's a good enough reason to apply for a summer program or to pay so much for a summer program, because I think then if you just want to keep in shape, then you might as well just ask your teacher and just take a couple of summer lessons with them while they're in town, or just go for private lessons if that's the case. Because a summer program, as much as it's focused on the music, it's not going to keep you it's not going to give you the motivation you always need if you yourself are not motivated to keep practicing, if that makes sense. So like, yes, of course you're gonna practice, and like you're gonna have so much time to practice because nothing else is really happening in the summer programs. But there's also something to be said with like, but if that's the only thing you want to do, is it really then, like, what is motivating you to practice in the summer program versus practicing at home? Is it just the competition that you're gonna have with the other flute players, so you have to like practice so you can show off and be so much better the next day or whatever? In which case, then also you should consider, it's like, well, is music really for me? Is practicing really for me if you cannot do this on your own, like without a summer program? So with all of that said about summer programs, I also think it's worth to mention that actually, you know what, a little bit of break is okay. I am not saying like completely leave your instrument. It's also hard to come back to shape. You also have to consider that. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with only practicing 30 minutes per day, for example, during the summer. If you say you're gonna take a month break or whatever. Because it's like, honestly, I believe that like when I have done longer programs, sometimes you come back from those programs and instead of feeling more motivated, you feel a bit exhausted because you have spent so many hours on like practicing, on listening to master classes, on one-on-one lessons. So you're like, oh my god, like I need a cleansing week, so to say. I think then you just really have to also be okay with maybe coming back from a summer program and then just being like exhausted and then taking a break. So just do whatever is best for you, and honestly, don't feel bad if you cannot go to a summer program, because I am honest, and like they are expensive, and some of us have to work during the summers to pay for tuition for schools, to pay for living expenses. And if it's not something in your cards, the summer program, then don't worry about it. I don't think people who do summer programs are that much better than people who do not do summer programs. It's all about the opportunities that each one gets and about the luck that each person gets whenever they get lucky. So with all of that said, don't be shy and leave a comment down below in if you know what your experience with summer programs has been. And if you like what you see, you should hit that subscribe button and like this video. And I will see you in a next one. Bye!